Perfect.
Can you tell me a little bit about your travel trips? Do you usually run travel trips or?
Yeah. So what I've really been concentrating, I do run travel trips all the time, literally probably 2 to 3 weeks out of the month. I go in and I either set my appointments the day before or as I'm driving, or if I fly in, maybe I'll fly in and set my appointments for the next 2-3 days, depending on the flight schedule and that type of stuff. And I try to book it as absolute full as I can, even if that means I can only be there for 3-4 days. But I'll literally call and set up my appointments for that whole period of time, as many as I can. And then during breaks, so let's say I was flying in on a Sunday, so I'm going to work Monday, Tuesday. I'll try and set those obviously first. If I get those full, I'll go ahead and book more appointments. If it's the opposite and I'm not having as good a luck on the phone, maybe I only get, 12, 14 appointments for the next 2 days. That downtime when I'm on the road, I jump back on the phone and I try and set more appointments for the next day or two.
Okay, so you're making calls every day then?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the only way to keep your schedule full.
Okay, that's awesome. What will you say for agents? I know sometimes agents they'll find a hard time finding business, making calls in their own area. Would you suggest that they travel outside of that area then?
I mean, it's completely optional. Like, but you can definitely make more money when you're on the road, just for the simple fact that you can jump into the CRM, you can see all the leads, and you can see where they are. Like, I know Adam is getting ready to go on a 3-month adventure, and literally just going off of CRM leads, and I guarantee he'll kill it. So I'm really excited to see him on his. He literally bought a van and everything to do his traveling in. So he's 100% in, and yeah. But I like try and keep leads between Florida and Nebraska, and then anywhere between there, I'll run leads, just because it's kind of on my way back and forth.
Yeah, I see that. Okay, great. Does anyone on the line have any questions for Jeff? No, so far no questions. Okay. So, do you have any agents that you'll like to talk about? I know you just spoke about. Oh, there's Kyrie. Hey, Kyrie.
Hey, sorry
Welcome.
guys, I just was finishing up an appointment. Was trying to hit this goal Hall of Fame, y'all. Jeff, we have you.
I am.
What's going on, brother?
Not too much. How are you?
Pretty good, man. I wanted to get you on, man. You're killing it as usual. Just wanted to get you to share some nuggets for how we can. Sorry, let me get this noise in the background out of here. Can you hear me better?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted you to kind of share some nuggets for newer agents, seasoned agents, on how to approach the new year to hit their goals. For this new upcoming year.
Absolutely.
Whether it's 100,000 or 400,000.
Sure. So first things first is you have to have a goal, right? Make it an attainable goal too. So if you're brand new, you probably don't want to set out for Hall of Fame unless, like, you're literally, you're going to be working hand over fist. But I would say just try and get your hands. So start simple. Get into the CRM. Make sure you have plenty of leads. So what plenty of leads is probably 100 for your dial days. So dial days are Mondays and Thursdays. Now, when you're new, obviously you're probably not going to be setting as many appointments as like someone like me who has been dialing. When I first started, I was absolutely terrible at it. I'm not going to lie. I was terrible. In fact, I called several people over and over and over and just kind of practiced with them, let them listen to me. And then I took the critiquing and did that type of stuff. if you jump online, there is on YouTube, there's phone scripts. I know we have some phone scripts that we use for whatever leads you want. We've literally taken them right from there. They're also on the website too. So you can jump on there, but practice, right? So the first time, your first dial day is going to be rough. It just is what it is. And you just have to fight through it. It's a mental game. But if you keep dialing, just so you know, to this day, that's still my least favorite part of the job. I love going in front of people. I love talking to people. I can close anything. I just need to get in front of them. But and it doesn't bother me like it used to. But if some days I have really good dial days and some days I don't have so good dial days. So, when I'm having a bad dial day, I'll just hang it up for the day. I'll run my appointments and then I might jump back on the phone at 7:30, 8 o'clock the next morning and fill it up that way. So different times, different places. And then those more advanced people, I mean, if you're hitting $5,000 a week, $20,000 a month, I mean, I would set your goal to hit 25, 30,000 this next year, if not doubling it, because if you're writing 5K a week, what it takes to do that. And at the end of the day, it's just hard work. So if you do double the appointments, I guarantee you, just if you double your appointments, you put in the same amount of time, pretty much, you're going to double your money, and you'll probably increase it just for the simple fact that you know what you're doing. It's not you're still going to be learning, but you'll just see different angles and you'll pick up stuff, and everyone gets smarter if they practice.
Absolutely. Hey, Jeff, I always say that for a new agent, you determine how fast you get this. You came off to a fast start because you were determined. We always say your first 100 appointments. You got some people who take, 6 months to get to their first 100 appointments. When it literally took you, I want to say maybe a month and a half.
Yeah.
And by that time you were, I believe it was your second month, you were doing over 50K.
Yep. So at the end of the day, if you want part-time pay, set half appointments. If you want full-time pay, you got to go balls to the walls. Just the main thing that I found, and I'm in my office right now in my car, right? So this is where I do most of my business. You have to set yourself up that you have to treat it like a real job. Like, it can't just be like, oh yeah, I think I'm going to work Monday and Tuesday and take the rest of the week off. Yeah, you could do that if you were a rock star and you didn't have that many bills. But if you want to be successful and you want to make real big money, you can do that. You just have to work hard. So 5-6 days a week. And if you're only going to go part-time, work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can write big business in 3 days. Like, I know that I've wrote over 30K in 3 days. So anybody can do that. It's just, you have to put the work, time, and effort into it. And the weekends are always best because obviously when everybody's off, so more people are home. Even if you have a appointment that goes bust or you can't get a hold of anybody on the phone, you can go door knock and close business.
Yeah, it's just pretty much activity.
100%.
So you closed. You're going to close over 300,000 issue paid personal this year.
Yep.
Can you tell us what your schedule looks like? Like, what is your Monday through Friday? How many hours do you spend on the phone? Let's just say weekly. How many hours do you spend on the phone weekly?
I would say weekly, 10 to 15 probably.
10 to 15 hours weekly on the phone. And how much do you spend on leads weekly, do you say?
2 to 3,000.
2 to 3,000. And what does that bring you back?
I think I just saw that I'm at 30, over 30 to 40K easily, if not more.
So 30 to 40K, three to you said 2 to 3,000. So let's just give or take. Let's say you spend 8,000 on leads, you bring back 30 to 40K. So if you spend 8,000 on leads, you bring back 30. If you spend 10, you bring back 40.
Correct.
So, you bring back $30,000 as a profit from spending 10,000. See, people don't understand that. It actually costs you more money to spend less, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
The less you spend, the more money you're costing yourself. Because think of it this way. If you spend $1,000 and you bring back $4,000, that's a 75% return. If you spend 10,000 and bring back 40 grand, that's a 75% return. The numbers are the numbers. You just manipulate them to the way that you want to, see the outcome and how much money you want directly deposited in your bank account. See, most people think they're afraid to spend more money, when actually I'm afraid not to spend enough money. Because if I don't spend enough, I'm, kind of making this thing hard on myself. We didn't get into work for ourselves and get into this lucrative business not to maximize it. I don't think anybody on this call, I don't think anybody that joins my agency and you're full-time or join FFL, period, full-time, should make anything less than 200 to 250,000. Anything less. If you're full-time. Now, when I say full-time, I don't mean that this is the only job that you have. Because sometimes we trick ourselves into believing that we're full-time because this is the only source of income that we have. For example, you may make $5,000 a week, $20,000 a month, working a part-time schedule. You can easily do that. But that doesn't mean it's full-time. Full-time is running 4 days in the field, running at least minimum 20 to 40 appointments a week, and dialing 2 days out of the week. It's really simple. We buy leads, we book appointments, we help families. And, you came with no insurance background and you came out and you sucked in the beginning, but you just stuck with it and you just weaved out the numbers. You got to 100 appointments first. I mean, it's pretty simple. You got to 100 appointments first, and during that 100 appointments, you learned so much. And now you're one of the best producers in the company. And I'm excited for what you have, what we're looking forward to next year. So I want to ask you, what are your personal goal issue paid for next year? And what's your team goal issue paid for next year?
So my personal goal is to write, to hit Hall of Fame. To do for my team, I would like to be between 250 and 500 a month.
I think 500. I think you could be closer to that 500. Jeff, I actually was testing out something that I think is going to work pretty well, and it's going to push us to the next level. I had a conversation with Sean Mike, and it makes sense. So I created a script that I'm going to be releasing soon on how to approach other agents at other companies. It's a very soft approach and very factual approach. What we do is we take the 5 things that we know that no one can compete with. And earlier I did one with our Primerica agent, and we hired him. And I'm pretty sure some people will follow him. But I just kept it simple. I asked them questions. When I got on the phone with him, I asked them questions. He thought he was going to recruit me. And I literally asked him, I said, hey, what comp level are you at? And what comp level will you start me at? He said he's at an 80% comp and he'll start me at a 50. I said, how long have you been in the industry? 3 years. I said, okay, you're at 80, and I'm writing it down. You start me at 50. I go down to the next thing and I say, okay, how fast would I get paid if I write a policy on Monday? When would the money be in my bank account? Well, it depends if the policy issue, typically a week. I'll say, okay, weekly pay. So then I said, how do you guys drum up your business? How can you guarantee me success? You'll sell friends, family, we'll get referrals, we'll network, we'll do this, we'll do that. You can door knock. So I'm like, pretty much the logistics of it is, we'll drum up business from strangers and we'll play the numbers game. Fair enough? Fair enough. Okay. How fast, what is the process of underwriting? How long does it take for policies to typically be issued? On the best scale and the worst scale. So 3 to 5 days on the worst scale. he said it could take up to a month or more, worst case scenario. So I said, okay. And then I don't get paid until the policy is actually issued and approved. Right. And then the last question I asked him is, what type of life insurance policies do you sell? Oh, we sell term and we invest the difference. And he gave me this whole spiel. And I said, oh, wait a second. So you sell term only. Are you able to sell whole life? He said, no. And then he tried to tell me why not. I said, well, if I absolutely only want whole life because I had a bad experience, there's no way you can help me. No. Okay. So I just want to compare oranges to apples. And I made sure I asked them the questions first so you can get the truthful answer. Because if you tell them everything that we do, they won't give you the truthful answer. If you tell them that we start our agents at 100%, all of a sudden he's at 100%. But if you ask them before you tell them what we offer, you get the true answers. So then I went side by side. I said, hey, listen, I'm at a company who, for give or take, let's just say comp is 120. You start at 120, and at 120, that's 40% more than you can offer, and 70% more than you wanted to start me at. Because if your comp's at 80%, you can't offer me more than 80%. So if this company is starting me at 120, that's 40% more than you can offer. That's one thing. The second thing, you guys say, at best, you pay weekly. We pay daily. So if I write a policy on Monday, I should be paid the next day or the following day, depending on what bank I have. The third thing was, you guys say how we going to drum up business is pretty much selling strangers and playing a numbers game. This company, we have leads of qualified people who requested insurance, and we're just order taking. And then fourth, underwriting can take 3 to 5 days on the best, upwards to a month or over on the worst. Where underwriting here is approved in the house, and you're paid within 2 days or less. And then the last final thing is, you guys offer only term, and this company offers a variety of all products, whole life, term, universal, whatever you need to best service the client. So typically, if I was in your shoes, what would you do? Like, if just being honest, if you were me, would you decide to join this company or that company? And by the way, I Googled this and I actually screenshot it, and I'm going to put this thing together. Primerica average agent makes $46,000 a year, which is 25% below the average of the industry. FFL average agent makes $111,000 a year, which is 75% above the national average of the industry. So would you want to work for a company that has everything better than them when you look at it from fact to fact, and that 75% average agent is above the national average or 25% below? What would you do? Well, that's all good, but what about the equity and this, that, and the third? And then I asked them a simple question with the equity. Equity, I know equity well, right? If I own a house, I can go to any bank and I can liquidate my equity. So if you were to liquidate your equity right now in 3 years, what type of check would they give you? Oh, I'm not sure. It doesn't work like that. So how does it work? And he couldn't answer that question. So to me, it's fake equity if you can't liquidate it. Long story short, by comparing those apples to oranges, it's a no-brainer. And at that point, I say, if you were me, what would you do, really? I would kind of, I would go there. So why don't you? Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to send you a PDF or a screenshot of all this stuff, really professional and nice. And I want you to go home and show your wife and say, hey, which company would you work for? And I'll talk to you in a few days, and we'll see what's the best situation for you and your family. And then that was it. And we need to do more of this, and I think that's where we're going to explode. When we get 1 or 2 of these agents that's already licensed, and we get them up and running. I don't care if they were doing 2,000 at another company, and they come here and they do 20,000 their first month. Because everybody at the other company is going to remember that guy who couldn't make any money here, but is making a crap load of money here. And they're going to say, oh, I'm going to be 10 times better than him in that system because I'm making way more than he was over here. And then they follow. Or he was the top producer over there doing 10,000 a month. And he comes here and everybody's like 10,000 a month. We got part-time agents doing that 1 week. And then now he comes over here and he's a $40,000, $50,000 producer. People are going to follow. So I think that's the approach for this next year for me, you, and our leaders. So I'm going to kind of create a call once a week where we strategize and brainstorm and we compare numbers and we target these people. And that's how these agencies are exploding around the country. And, you know, it's about time we start getting a piece of that pie, as well as hiring unlicensed agents. I think we all are pretty good at that. But getting some of these agents from these other companies who are dying, they're making less than $2,000 a month, you know, and having to work 2 to 3 other jobs and do this, you know, as a side gig, where we can actually show them how to really create financial freedom. And we can paint it in a very, very clear-cut picture where you don't have to, excuse my language, but be in a measuring contest where, you know, who's better or who's smarter, what company is making more money, what company is not making more money. We don't have to do that. We blow everybody out the water, but we don't have to do that. It's really just simple. Higher comp, paid faster, more variety of products for you and the clients, better underwriting, and a clear-cut system on how to get in front of more people. Because the person who gets in front of the most people wins. The person who helps the most people wins. And it's that simple. So that's kind of something we're going to be rolling out over the next couple of weeks going into the new year. And Jeff, your agency is going to explode from that, bro. Explode. You know,
Perfect.
It really is. So that's kind of all I have for the call. Jeff, if you want to give any closing statements or anything you want to add.
No, I'm excited for the new year. Excited to see all the new people coming on, and yeah, if anybody needs help, reach out to me.
Let's do it. All right, Jeff. We'll talk soon, and let's blow this thing off the roof, man. Look forward to seeing you in person at convention, and just taking off this next year. 500,000, bro. 500,000. I think 250 by before June, and I'd like to have you at 150 by March. You know that VP bonus is 2,500 now, guaranteed.
Yep.
Extra guaranteed 2,500 in the bank. It's going to allow us to explode, allow you to explode. If you do less than 500 as an agency at the end of the year, it's my fault, not yours. So I'm going to do everything I can do to help you get there. I know the 400,000, you got that, bro. You know, on the producing side, you're one of the best we have. So let's do it. Guys, let's make this one of the best years we had. You know, next year is the year of growth and where we change our families' lives and others' lives. I'll talk to you guys and see you guys on Monday.
Later.
Later.